Okay, we're recording now, so that'll be good. So we can use that for secretary, who we don't have anymore. As you guys might have seen the email, Lauren has stepped down, so we have to come up with a new secretary pretty quick. I will say that I have reached out to, as soon as I heard that from Lauren, I reached out to Alexa Morris, since she had tried to be in the election last spring, to see if she's still interested in volunteering, and that we had an opening until next spring when secretary is up for re-election anyway. So I've reached out to her. I don't know if anybody's got any ideas on who would be wanting to do that. Feel free to reach out to them. But yeah, that's something that we'll have to figure out pretty quick. On another note, I want to announce that I will no longer be in Yellowstone County after this Friday. And I'm sorry my camera's not working, and I don't know why, but
Big
I
news
will
there,
be.
Mike.
I am moving over to Stillwater County.
Ooh, intriguing.
I saw that opening. That's cool. Awesome. Congrats there, Mike.
Yeah,
Thank you.
fantastic.
Yeah, it's the drive alone.
Congratulations.
The drive alone is going to be nice. So
Yeah, that's
Your
a
new
much shorter commute.
yeah, I'll be
what's your
walking.
new position, Mike?
I'll be basically doing the same thing I'm doing now.
Oh,
Just
that's
just for,
awesome.
yeah, just for them.
Is your title then GIS manager for the county or whatever?
Coordinator.
Coordinator. Oh, that's so
Yeah,
exciting. Congrats. That's awesome.
Yeah, that is
That's
exciting.
awesome.
thank you. So
Well,
obviously I'm going to have to get all my emails and everything adjusted with Google Docs and Google Drive, and I'll get with Megan with that about that as soon as I get my new email from them. And they're aware that I'm with MAGIP, so and they were good with it.
Great.
So we
nice.
were all good with that. Okay, so for the agenda, or for the meeting minutes, did you guys get a chance to take a look at them? I realized Lauren didn't get them out until just an hour ago.
I,
Uh, I think we can still approve them if unless somebody didn't saw some issues with them. I mean, I briefly scanned them, didn't see much. So
I
I,
didn't
I
get a
see.
chance to look.
I see the two motions that we did at the end after Lauren left. So
Yeah.
that's what I was looking for.
Yeah,
so
same.
it's just she added those up.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
could also just approve these next month too.
we
Um,
could, if you want to do that. I mean, granted, we not a lot of us, or we haven't had much time to look at this. So, um, I
that
mean,
would
if
be
you
my
want
vote. That would be my vote. Just to push it to next month.
to, okay.
Oh, I'm gonna miss Lauren. What a gem.
Say, did I miss an announcement about did I did where and when she was leaving?
She just said she was moving to Colorado.
Yeah,
Okay.
she
She
just
already
announced
moved
it
there. She
in
already
her
Yeah,
moved there.
email.
yeah, she announced in her email. She did talk about it at the last meeting in June, but not really. But she was going to try to stay to be a secretary, and I think it's just going to be too much for her.
Huh. Was it another GIS? Did she go to work for
I
private
think it.
or?
I think it was her husband. She's moving because of her husband, and
Oh,
then
okay.
and she's hoping to find something. I think it sounds like she found something down there. So
Well, good for her. Cool.
I don't want to speak for her, but I think that's what I heard.
Yeah, she mentioned that they were trying to get closer to family, with their young kid and everything, and that she was
Right.
going to be looking for a job down there last I talked to her.
Right. Okay, so we'll push the meeting minutes till August meeting. Can let's get to the budget then. Nick, did you want to I can stop sharing here.
Yeah, I'll share mine.
Or maybe, yeah, maybe you can boot me out here. Stop share. There we go. Okay. All right. You should be able to.
Is that working?
Yep.
Yep. Now it is.
Cool. Well, hopefully folks got a chance to look at this. I guess for people who weren't at the last meeting, um, trying to think of like the main kind of changes. We kind of went a little bit more conservative on our revenue, just kind of thinking that last year with our keynote and some other things that worked in our favor that we might not see the same workshop attendance and things like that next year. Um, but aside from that, there weren't a whole lot of changes. We were kind of high on the conference swag budget. Um, and we kind of took a chunk out of that to kind of to fill in the gap. Um, and then yeah, general swag as well. We removed out of there, hoping that what we have now will get us through the next year. I think one of the other main things we're moving the awards to annual, correct?
Not officially yet.
Not officially yet. Okay.
Right. Yeah, we haven't agreed on that yet. Yeah.
Okay. Full
So we
scope
should-
contract's going to be the same. That's a 2-year contract. Wild Apricot comes up this year, so that's another expense that we didn't have last year. Um, and we did bump up the BOD travel, just with that new document that we have where board members can request reimbursement for travel to other conferences to represent MAGIP. We ended up bumping that number up. And I think that is about it. Did anybody have anything they wanted to point out or discuss further?
For the full scope contract there, you mentioned it was like every other year, but I still see it as a 2026 actual. Is that like the difference? But is that like you just split it between 2 years in the entry that you put in there? Or how's that
So
work?
we pay monthly, but
Uh-huh.
the amount is on a 2-year contract.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, we'll
So
have the same rate this
got it.
year. Yep.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Right. Any other comments on the budget at all?
I feel good about it.
Yeah, it seems like
Looks
we're in good shape.
I agree.
looks good, Nick.
Cool.
Nice work.
Yeah,
All right.
thank you, Nick, for all your hard work on this. It's really, really great.
Um, I think we should be able to approve it if I mean we've got a quorum now, so if I would take a motion if we want to approve it as is.
Yeah, I'll motion to approve the FY 2027 budget for Mega.
I'll
I'll
second.
second. Oh,
Oh,
beat
that's
you
good.
to it.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
I,
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? All right. No, the budget is passed.
who officially seconded it, though? I'm taking some slight notes.
I think Jackson, I saw or heard
Jackson
Jackson,
did.
but then somebody else did too.
We'll say Jackson slid in first.
I
All
need
right.
that. I need that credit there.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. I got you. I forgot I turned this off and I was meant to get water.
Um, yeah, and then I guess other treasure items. Liz and I met last week, talked on the phone and kind of lined them out with QuickBooks and AffiniPay, things like that. I'm gonna try to get to Wells Fargo this week to start the CD and just make sure it's as easy as possible for Liz to get at as a signer. So should be on track to be okay there, and then we'll connect and drop off the checkbook and other documents. So
And then, since we're still talking about the budget, or not the budget, but treasurer stuff. So at our last meeting, if I recall correctly, we discussed that we were just going to move forward with another CD, but also in that process, we were going to figure out how to do the other things. Is that correct? And did we move forward with that at all, or do we have any other additional info on that?
trying to remember if we voted on
Yeah.
creating
Well,
a high yield savings account.
Yeah, that was what we were
right.
talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Instead
it
of
was in the
putting,
minutes. It was passed in the minutes. I saw it.
yeah,
right, the idea was because we had a little bit of a shortfall last year, we wanted to provide a little cushion. And so we were going to put 40,000 in a CD and 10,000 in a high yield account
right,
so we could access it if necessary.
right. So are we still I mean, I'm assuming we're going to do that then. So, is that something that Nick needs to do when he's doing the CD 10 too as well?
Well, no, I think he would just put the 40 into the CD and then Liz, I don't know if she's here, I can't tell.
Yeah, she
But
is.
she, okay, yeah. She expressed some interest in working on the high yield stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't begun research on it yet, but it's my understanding that we need to, pick a different institution other than Wells Fargo to be able to do that.
Yeah,
Correct.
like an online bank.
Okay. All right, cool. Yeah, I was just wondering if we had made any progress on that or not yet. But that sounds good though. All right.
I'll hand this
You want to
back.
stop sharing there, Nick?
Yep.
Unless there's any other questions there.
Oh, I had a quick question on that. So,
Yeah.
Nick, I think last time we looked at it, rates are pretty comparable for like a 7 month versus a full year. So do you know what we're doing there?
I have not looked at it again.
Okay.
And I think it was mainly just the time frame made a little more sense. I remember you looking at the rates and I remember you saying they were comparable, but I'll definitely let everybody know what kind of what we're expecting with that. So
Okay, very good.
And you're going to get that done before you leave, right, Nick?
correct.
Perfect. All right.
Nick, did you already invest that $40,000 in the Wells Fargo CD?
No, that's my plan.
Okay.
Hopefully
Next.
this week. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Excellent. Okay. Well, let's move on. Michelle and Jeff, after our meeting last month, decided to take a trip over to Butte to take a look at the site over there to figure out if we were going to do that for our 2028 Big Sky GeoCon. Jeff, you want to take over?
Yeah. You should be seeing my screen right now.
Uh-huh. I already love it.
What's that? No, I
Yeah.
don't. I'm going to stop sharing here.
I can see your
There we go. Okay. Okay, we can see it now.
Oh, we can?
Oh, wait.
Okay.
Oh, now it went
Well, I
away.
did. Yeah, it went away now.
Redo it. There you go.
There
you
we go. Okay. So Dave, Michelle, and I, and also Rob, because he was riding with Dave on the way back. We took a little trip over to Butte after our call, our in-person meeting last month in Bozeman. So we met with Bree over there. She's the sales manager, and most of us have already been there before. I'm not sure if Dave had been there before. Previous conference was there in 2019, and I was on the board when we first initiated talks with them for that conference. So I've known the space, is pretty familiar. I think they've done slight upgrades. Was there anything different, Michelle, that you noticed that stood out?
No, I don't think so. Just that thing on their big wall, that LED thing on the big wall. And I think they've
Yeah.
updated some of their sleeping rooms, but nothing major. No.
Yeah, they did a major renovation pre-COVID anyway. I think it was before the 2019 conference. So it's a pretty
Yeah.
modern facility. We're still in kind of negotiations with Bree, so this is kind of up to the board. I feel pretty comfortable with this proposal. The total rental space is pretty comparable to some of the other facilities that we have done, and they were still going to give us like the government, the government rate. Um,
I'm
for the
assuming
rate.
that would be adjusted as, because that government rate adjusts every year. So in 2028, I would assume.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
prevailing. It's a prevailing state rate for 2028.
Right.
Yeah.
We were at like what, 130 a room for Grouse Mountain, or maybe that was like they rolled in the taxes and stuff. Oh yeah, plus tax.
It'll be less because Butte doesn't have that special
Resort
district.
tax or
Yeah, well,
whatever.
the special districts like Bozeman and Kalispell and Helena do.
Oh,
That kind
okay.
of
Yeah.
they have a sliding scale with the they have their own little area. I'm not sure if Missoula does. I don't think Missoula does. I think Missoula just has like the general state rate. And I
Uh-huh.
think it's like 110 right now.
Okay.
Yeah, the state rate just varies by county.
I see.
Yep. Yep. And we were actually able to talk with them and getting the one comp room for 75. So that should amount to probably not as many as we got in Whitefish, but it should allow us to some flexibility with comping those for Michelle and or the keynote speaker if he or she is spending multiple nights. So that kind of gives us the flexibility to not have to pay for as many rooms for our guest speakers or administration. So yeah, it's pretty standard. Like like most of you have been there before. They still have the ribbon shop house there. Um, all the catering. Oh, this is another thing that's different too. All the catering has to go through Ribbon Chop. I don't think that was the case in 2019. So those are kind of the highlights and what the differences are. And we had a very successful conference. I mean, many of you, I was not able to attend, but I still hear stories of um, Butte being one of the best. Butte Silverbow, a couple folks came over to the tour with us, Ross and Campbell. And then they talked about possibly with the trolley again as well. So if we do have an offsite, which we probably will, offsite event
Yeah.
uptown on Monday, we should be able to take advantage of that trolley to transport those that want to in that drive.
So Michelle,
Um,
does that mean that our Wednesday dinner is going to be all steak
Yeah.
since it's going through Ribbon Shop?
They
Like
have
ribeye.
they actually have vegetarian options. I do know this, and like very nice fish dishes for people like me.
We did order food from them for the gala last time, or yeah, for the dinner last time, the banquet.
Oh, did we? Oh, okay.
We did. We ordered the baseball sirloin, I remember it, but we also had other options as well.
Nice.
so that's basically our tour in a nutshell there. We're gonna have really good local support as well, Pete Silverbow. And we're possibly going to get Montana Tech involved as well. So we should have a pretty good base for folks, and it's pretty centrally located for both schools to come over. Dates, we did have them reserve, kind of hold April 10th through the 14th, and that would be the week before Easter, because we did look at when Easter was. I think Easter is the 16th, so we didn't. So we were very specific on not wanting the week following Easter. So, so yeah, that should work out.
Yeah.
I'm ready. Curious if you guys have any other questions, but I mean, I think we can at least entertain a motion for approving the site of it. So we
Do
can at least get a little more serious with negotiations and possibly a signed contract within the next couple months.
do we have like a rough estimate of the like cost compared your projected compared to kind of what we paid at Whitefish for? I guess I'm just curious about that cost of this facility versus Whitefish.
Yeah, they haven't
I mean,
even gotten that far yet.
yeah,
Okay.
the facility fee is definitely a little higher, but we won't have to pay as much for food. So it kind of usually evens out. And then depending on our negotiations, there's a few things that we're trying to ask of them. Like if we spend up on a certain dollar amount on food, do we get a little break on the facility? Michelle feels pretty confident that we should get some break either through that one, or there was a discount if you use all. Is it discount if you use it for the entire week? Is that what it was there, Michelle? What was the discount
For
talk
the
that you had?
AV,
Yeah,
the AV,
yeah, the AV. Okay.
yeah, there's a multi-day discount for the usage of the AV. And I do feel like their AV rates were pretty reasonable compared to, I mean, it's hard to compare Grouse Mountain Lodge really with anything because you're not really comparing apples with apples just because it's
Mhm.
That's what I
really
was thinking. I was thinking we should probably
yeah,
be comparing it to more
The
Great
Everglades.
the
Falls or something like
Delta or
that.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or the Helena. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what I would say.
Okay. Did we have other areas or thoughts that we were kind of considering? I know I personally love Butte, but just want to think about were we looking at any other like places in Butte and or other cities? I think we all decided Butte, right?
Well, we haven't officially decided Butte, but that's what this motion would be.
Okay.
Um, Butte's kind of challenging because really they only have this
Yeah.
this spot for that would fit us. The Finland Hotel is very cool, but it's just and then that's where that map conference was a number of years ago. But we
Uh-huh.
simply don't fit in there
Yeah, got it.
because map had to use other neighboring uh like Northwestern Energy. They had to have some presentations over there, so they'd use
Mm.
neighboring businesses just to facilitate their concurrent sessions.
Yeah, that doesn't sound right for us. Um, okay, well, I just wanted to know a little bit more and see if we had comparable costs, if this is like the best option in Butte.
Yeah, did
What
you
sort of,
you might want to read what Andrew said. He said the only warning he would give is that they require a refund of 250 damage deposit in addition to the reservation charge that is not listed. So that might be something we might want to look at.
Yeah, that wasn't in the contract, but I will definitely ask about it.
Yeah, it's not not a pleasant surprise when you make a reservation and you think you're all good and you go over there and they say, and we'd also like to put this deposit on your account as well. So
Okay, we'll check into that for sure.
I appreciate that, Andrew.
And Helen, to answer your question, yeah, the only other facility that would even come close to housing us would be Fairmont
mhm,
by Anaconda.
yeah,
And I think one of the reasons, and Jeff, correct me if I'm wrong, if you are looking at the natural rotation of the conference around the state, it's just timing wise in 2028 due to go back to Butte. Doesn't mean that it has to. That's just kind of why that naturally came up in the cycle.
Yeah,
okay,
and Butte was very popular as well. So
yeah,
that also kind of goes into our decision to recommend this to the board. So
yeah,
it's I mean we certainly could look at Fairmont. I think it would be financially feasible. You just especially for Monday night's event, what are you going to do? Like the struggle is already real out in the Copper, at the Copper Canyon
hmm,
being the distance. It's even further away from Fairmont. So you're almost forced to have everything the entire week out of Fairmont. So you're a little
uh-huh.
isolated.
Yeah. Maybe we can think
I
further
would,
on Fairmont in the future. It feels like I do love that spot, but you're right. Go
I
ahead,
mean,
Rob.
I would, I'm fine with Butte, but I would just say, um, contrary to that comment, the Copper King is way out there. It's like almost in another county from downtown Butte, you know?
It is, yeah, it is.
So, I mean, if Fairmont to downtown Anaconda is about the same distance, right? But I don't know if they provide transportation.
They
No,
do
but
have
the
a
Copper King does.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
Fairmont has
And
a shuttle.
I just have a comment and Jeff and I, we talked about it a little bit. coming from having just come from the event at Grouse Mountain, which was kind of, I don't know, it felt really good. Walking into the Copper King, I felt like, wow, this place is dark and ceilings are low, and I felt a little cramped. But it felt great when we had the conference there last time. It just, that was my initial impression. I was like, man, it's dark in here.
Mm-hmm.
The
Grass
dark I don't have a
Mountain
problem
was
with.
lovely.
I don't remember the ceilings being low though. I
Yeah,
thought
no, it
that.
was that was just a feeling I had, that was my
Oh,
initial impression, you
yeah.
know. Um, but yeah, the facility, we all seemed to love it the first time we were there.
Yeah, they do have that. Isn't this the place that has the bowling alley right next door?
Yeah. So we could potentially also entertain maybe doing like a Sunday night social over at the bowling alley. So
Yeah, that's a nice.
That's a good
Or
idea.
the GIS meetup at the bowling alley. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I feel we should tuck the Fairmont in our back pockets, and I think they would both have sort of similar, a little bit of a distance, but I know that Butte was so popular. I've heard Curtis rave about it a million times. So I personally feel good about moving forward with like negotiations on this for Butte, and maybe keeping Fairmont in our back pocket for future consideration, like for another year. Did that even make
yeah,
sense?
yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
In like
Are
2038.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Well,
at
Yeah.
some point, because I've been to conferences there and I actually have loved it. It's really fun. It didn't seem like Anaconda was far, and the like rooms are huge with really big screens, and I like that.
Yeah.
okay, we'll get back to that. We'll hold that thought for Fairmont. But I will motion we'll accept Butte for this year's or for the 2028 conference. Uh, but I'll go ahead and motion for that.
I'll second that.
Okay. All in favor?
I
Say aye.
All
All right.
I
Right.
Anybody opposed? All right, so there's our next conference. Now we can
Okay.
concentrate on
Thank you
Great
all.
Falls now.
Yeah. Right.
All right, cool. All
Thanks,
right.
Jeff, and everyone for
Yep.
all the hard work. That's great little overview.
All right, so that's where are we at in time? Well, we're doing pretty good. So other business, obviously, Lauren, I brought that up that we need to start looking for a secretary as soon as possible. But Andrew has got some insight on the local SIG and would like to present. And go ahead, Andrew.
All right. Hopefully, Mike was able to forward an email to you a little bit
Yep.
last minute earlier today. Um, I do have a candidate for someone who'd be interested in chairing the SIG starting next year. Matt Trebek with the State Library, um, with a couple of kind of qualifiers. Um, the first is he is fairly sensitive to the fact that he's a state employee, and so he wants to make sure that wouldn't be a conflict of interest um, with running a local government SIG and any perceptions of um, conflict of interest with that. Personally, I didn't think it was a big deal because here I am in the private sector running a local government SIG thing. So, and I haven't really received any pushback at all. But it sounds like he has gotten some guidance from his employer on how to work that out. Um, and then the other piece that he did, which I tend to agree with this one, is he wants to suggest having a co-chair kind of situation where there's a possibility of tag teaming on who runs the meeting, um, and also kind of split the load with recruiting content and all that kind of stuff. Um, I think it's a great idea personally. And I think that would be something that um, would make the position more palatable, um, is having a sort of a support team. Um, and it's something that, in past times, I mean, Helen, you and I and Gail met at one point when Gail was president and kind of brainstormed things. And Jeff, you've done that before. Um, so I don't think that that idea is a bad thing. Um, and so, you know, with those things being said, I think that Matt would be a great candidate, with the idea that we should still put out a call to the organization as a whole for a co-chair or a grouping. Um, and I think also that would be a little bit less pressure on other potential candidates, knowing that there's a kind of a co-chair arrangement instead of just one person on their own. I think that's been a little bit of intimidating factor when I've had
Yep.
conversations with other people about that.
Yep, totally agree.
But to the extent that um, I think it's still a valuable resource. I think it's a great thing to have keep on going on. Um, Whatever we can do to keep it going on, including any restructures, is really a good thing. And the other thing I would suggest is that, when it gets closer to the time of 2027, start having discussions with Matt or whoever decides to do it about whether to resume monthly or keep it at bi-monthly or change that kind of frequency stuff too, because I've started to hear a couple comments from people who are missing the monthly, but it's also a significant burden in terms of that constant recruit unless you get lots of conversations happening ahead of time. That constant call for content is it's a task. Um,
Right. All right, so currently you're doing it bi-monthly, is that right?
yes.
Yeah.
I would agree that monthly is a pretty short cadence for coming up with speakers for people who want to present need to have time to create talks and that sort of things. I think I know I haven't been to one in a few, but I feel like bi-monthly is a good cadence that reduces the burden on, the chair who is trying to find speakers, coordinating with all the people and doing all the things. Which, by the way, Andrew, I'm very, very grateful for your hard work on this over the years. Uh, so yeah, co-chair sounds awesome.
Yeah, we'll definitely keep the schedule flexible enough to where if when we get the 2 or 3 people to do the co-chairing, that they would decide if they can want to keep it wherever they think they'd be most comfortable at. So I like that idea as well. Okay, cool. So I can send out an email to the group, to the membership, see if there's any interest. Um, Basically just a recruitment to see if anybody is interested in co-chairing. If people know anybody specifically, feel free to reach out to them, and I think it's great that we got Matt interested at least. I mean, I think he'd be wonderful at it. But yeah, I understand that he's busy, and yeah, co-chairing will certainly help the burden out with that. Um, yeah. Anything else, Andrew?
You know, as far as like I'll just mention it again. I don't know why it is, but I just noticed a trend that the participation level, both attendance and otherwise, has dropped since last summer. We used to have a crew of about 20, 30 people pretty reliably, and now we're anywhere from probably 5 to 15 at the most. Um, and that can be a little bit of a bummer for speakers who are expecting a little bit larger audience. Um, and, it might be worth um, sending out some kind of a feedback survey like I did a couple years ago, just to see if there's any reasons why that is. Um,
Okay. Yep.
and
Yeah, go ahead. Finish up there, Andrew.
and the only other suggestion I would have, I never got around to this, But Helen, this might be something to consider part of the, member experiences, like figuring out why other counties and cities, aka Stillwater County, do not participate in the SIG, if there's any structural issues or just lack of awareness of the SIG, and just keeping that promotion going.
Uh-huh.
So
Well, that will change if specifically with Stillwater County.
Can't wait to see what the Stillwater County crew.
There is no
So
crew, it's just me.
I think, Andrew, I'm so glad you mentioned that. You bring up a great point, and maybe Michelle, we could get with why is her name escaping me? Our social media
Alicia?
Alicia,
yes, sorry. I'm spaced out today, and make a plan to maybe even throw a little post about the SIGs, a week before they're happening, and then a reminder maybe the day before, just to invite our members. Hey, don't forget about the SIG. This is an awesome resource, and so speaking.
did
Just
we
a thought on that.
last week or last month, didn't we talk about didn't I don't know if it was you, Helen. I thought it was Megan, and I thought it was Megan and you. We're talking about that we already have some kind of survey 123 about the SIG that we were gonna, well, we didn't send it out quite yet, but go ahead, Rob.
Yeah, just a quick question here. Are we going, or will Matt agree to go forward if we don't have a co-chair lined up yet?
I personally, just on the conversations I've had with him in that email, I would probably say that he would drop out if there was no other additional support in place.
But we have until the end of the year, right? Is that when
Yes.
you're leaving? Okay.
Okay.
And I'll continue to put out calls like in next month is the next meeting. And so I'll use my bully pulpit to put out another reminder, and I'll emphasize that there's going to be an additional support team and it won't just be one person.
Yeah. All right. Good deal.
Sounds good. But yeah, so back to so if we already have that survey 123 somewhere, maybe we should take a look at that again. I didn't know if it was you, Helen, and Megan that were going to do that, or if I was supposed to be involved with that. Um, but we should probably take a look at that and probably try send that out again to see what the interest is for the local SIG. You know, and you're muted, Helen.
Of course, I'm muted. Okay, I just stole the screen share really quick.
Oh, hang on a second. No, that didn't work for me. I got to stop sharing.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I stopped sharing.
Can you
There
see
we go.
mine?
Yep, I
Okay,
see it.
so
Yep.
once you're logged in to the MAGIP page and you get to the SIG page, we
Mhm.
do have a survey 123 form here to suggest topics and whatever else that you might want with your name, your email, a topic, a speaker suggestion, or whatever. So this exists and it's embedded
Yeah, I
on.
think we need to send that out, to be honest, something like that, and maybe a couple additional questions on if there's, what kind of interest you would have in maybe being a
So
co-chair or something like that,
yeah, the other thing I would say is there's a separate survey 123 that was created a few years ago, and Helen will remember this too. And that was more of the customer satisfaction feedback style.
Mhm.
And that might be the one that, in terms of interest level, that
Okay.
you might send out to kind of, again, kind of get some sense of why, what's going on with the SIG, is a room for improvement that, we're looking to improve this for next year. And, are there any topics that are missed or some kind of content change that needs to happen? Um, you know, because, I have heard other people say that sometimes the open discussion format is better than sort of the presentation style, but then there's other people who's like, I'm not going to speak and do an open discussion thing because I'm too shy, but I love when other people share what they're working on. So it's too difficult of an audience to just black box it into something that's one size fits all.
Mhm.
So
Yeah. All right.
Like,
Well, that sounds good. Go ahead, Helen.
oh, so Andrew, are you like envisioning a form that we do have questions on the SIG in the member satisfaction form that we like send out
yeah,
annually? But should we have a separate one that's like just the SIG? Like, hey, tell us
That's what I think. Yes.
okay.
yeah. And if you look, there may already be something that was archived that was previously sent out. That's what I was thinking about because I remember we did this before. Um,
Uh-huh.
because I was trying to figure out if it was just me at the time. I was going through a dry spell. Um, and, we already get some good detailed satisfaction, like people want to hear more about Python or people want to hear more about these kind of things. And, there was a question or two on there about like, what do you like the most or the least? So I'm thinking that
Mm-hmm.
it's already been done, and I think the survey should still be there. It just may be archived. So just take a look in your survey one,
Okay.
two, three records.
Yeah, I'll
That's
do
all.
that. I'm just
Yeah. If you
looking.
can't find it, Megan probably has some kind of way of bringing it up.
Oh, I know where all the things live in survey 123.
Well,
Oh,
Don't you don't you worry. I'll find it.
okay.
Andrew, and back to your point about like the open discussion, there's no reason why you guys can't do both.
Yeah,
With like one particular month, maybe the open discussion is Next Gen 911, and maybe Bob Cochran's the one that opens it, but then it's just kind of a discussion of where you're at in the process of Next Gen 911. Bob's there to answer any questions, but it's more of a dialogue amongst the local government of like, oh, we're struggling with X, or this was the solution to Y that
right.
not.
And
So
again, I
I
think,
can see value in that for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and I think
Good
that's
point.
like that's where like that group discussion among a co-chair team would really probably help because finding that balance, that mix of things, when you're trying to think through all that on your own is kind of a challenge. Um, but if you kind of visioned it together and, based on a survey, kind of figure out, you know, are we going to wrangle together, a MSL theme steward for this month to talk about something versus an open discussion versus whatever, you know, I think that that kind of discussion is wonderful to have and something that would be more fruitful in a group environment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
That sounds good. Well, we're gonna be sad to see you go, man, because you've been doing awesome and you've been championing this thing for a while now. So it's been great, and hopefully we'll be able to come up with some people to fill your shoes there.
Appreciate it. No, I plan on attending the meeting still, just not running them anymore.
Good. We need you there.
Yep.
Yeah, appreciate your
Good.
service there, Andrew, for a couple of years you doing this now. So nice
Absolutely.
job.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah. Appreciate it. All right. I think that's all we have on the agenda. Did I miss something? Did somebody we have a couple minutes left. Anybody else want to say anything? Bring up anything? Rob? Just kidding.
Um, no, I think it's been a good meeting. We accomplished what we needed to. I look forward to working on the next steps of our fund. Um, Kind of feel like since we're going to put things in a CD, that's going to put it off another year. Um, but maybe that's the amount of time we need to get organized and
Right.
start our new venture. So I'm ready to get to work when we're ready for that.
Cool. Anybody else
Mike,
got anything? Oh,
Mike,
go ahead, Jeff.
I don't know if we've talked about it, but is anyone going to the MAP conference in Dillon? That's less
Uh,
than 2 months away,
yes,
unfortunately.
that's a great point. Well, I don't know if I can go or not. I will try to go, just so we have somebody there. Um, I do believe I've already talked to somebody to get us a table. But yeah, you're right. We should talk about that.
Yeah, and I
Outside,
and I don't know if I'm attending, but if I'm not, I'll find some way to get swag down there. I think someone from the state library is going down there, so there's ways of us getting swag down there. So
I was just
okay,
gonna
good.
say I have lots of swag, so if you need any for that, let me know.
I think I'm attending already for another to participate on a different panel, so I can sit at our
Nice.
table probably.
Well,
Great.
that would be good. So who has the swag? Is it Michelle?
Jeff
I
and I
think
both have
Michelle,
some.
yeah, we both kind of have some.
Okay.
Yeah, since I know Jackson is going, I'm sure I'll be down in Bozeman, it's at some point. I'll try to link up with Jackson and just give him some swag,
Yeah,
with
let's just
respect to
meet up.
the banner
Yeah.
runner and stuff. So yeah, so now that'll be easy. Yeah.
I'm going to be in Bozeman too in the next 2 or 3 weeks. So if you want me to bring it, let me know that too.
Well, geez, I'll be in Bozeman too. I mean, I got to take my kid to school in a couple weeks, so just
Guess
gonna have a little
a
party.
MAGIP
No-
meetup, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Another
I know.
another
Just
another Bobcat in family, huh?
Yep.
text me. We can go get a beer.
Hey, that's an idea. All right. Well, anything else?
I saw Aaron was the keynote speaker at the Map with Two Ps conference that was up in Big Sky this week. I have some colleagues from Geospatial attending who were like, "Do you know Aaron Bashway?" I'm like, "Oh yeah."
She
Oh,
she was the keynote. She buried that lead. She didn't tell any of
No,
us that.
she didn't tell anybody, and then
Wow,
but
she
but
buried the lead on that one.
yeah, but
wow.
so I have reached out to her about some keynote ideas. I need to maybe poke her with another reminder email. I know she's been quite busy.
Yeah,
Well,
she
I
she
talked.
literally went from San Diego straight to Big Sky almost with a day in between. So
It's
Wow.
crazy.
Later. I have to get on another call. I'll see you guys later.
Bye,
All right, see you,
Michelle.
thanks,
Michelle.
Thank
Michelle.
you.
Bye.
Speaking of Aaron, I did reach out to her about NISJIC, as that's happening coming up this year too. I think in November.
Yeah.
But she mentioned that that is not a, where there's booths and all that kind of stuff. It's not like that at all. So, because I told her, I said, look, Megan would like to be involved somehow, and it didn't sound like we can be because of the fact that it's a whole different format kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I
It's
did reach out about that because I thought it'd be pretty good if we can get our
Yeah.
face in there somehow.
If they have any kind of events that are like, early career professional-ish things, like I would say, even if they don't have booths and tables, perhaps we could have like a person or two volunteering to support some of their, I don't know, specific planned
Yeah,
events.
it didn't. I mean, I went on their website to take a look at that. It didn't really look like it looks like they have like one session. It almost looked like Marl's, where there's like one or two
Hmm.
sessions going on the whole day kind of thing, all through it the week or something. There was a keynote every day
Wow.
kind of
yeah,
thing.
And there's a trip to Yellowstone as well.
yeah.
Yeah. So
It's
it's
an
a
interesting conference
I'll
if you
go to
go.
Yellowstone, just lock people in a bus with me for hours. Sounds awesome.
have you been, Eric?
Yeah, I went last year down in Nashville when they went there,
Yeah.
and it's an interesting format. I mean, they have a lot of vendor sponsors, but those sponsors, there's no tables. It's just the sponsors basically have hospitality rooms or or they sponsor a trip or they sponsor something like that, and then but there's no booths or anything like that. It's just all in one big room, and the meeting rolls from one thing to another while you're sitting in that one room. And
Oh,
so there's not a big thing where you're moving around a lot. Matter of fact, I purposely drank a lot of water so I would get up and move around and use the because you're
there you go.
basically sitting at the same spot the whole time. what they do is that the sponsors or the vendors that are there, they host what's called, at the end of the day, they host a speed, it's kind of like speed dating, but it's basically the state officers rotate around from table to table, and each table is staffed by, Onyx, by a vendor that's there. And so then those state representatives, that as they rotate from table to table, it's exactly at a speed dating type of thing, but it's a speed networking is what they call it. And so
like what we did for the student roundtable.
yeah, like we did with the students that time. And so, but that's how that NISJIC thing kind of works. And it's yeah, it's a yeah, I don't know where MAGIP could fit into it, other than if we have stickers. They do this fun thing. They do this sticker swap thing where you put a batch of MAGIP stickers out someplace and let people grab them for whatever purpose you have there. That type
We
of
could
thing.
do that. We could do that.
We could do that. You can give some of our stickers to Aaron there, Jeff.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm all on it.
But
Yeah.
also, if they need some like volunteers to help facilitate things like speed networking or being moderators in rooms and stuff, that might be a good place if people are available to have some of our board members too.
Yeah, there's no rooms for moderators. It's whoever's the speaker is who runs the meeting in the big room. And then it's usually it's pretty much the NISJIC staff that are running things in terms of, there's one or two individuals, if I recall. So yeah, I'm kind of waiting to see if I'm going to be down there or not. I know I got an opportunity to go only because I went not as a local government rep, but I went as a council member for the Land Information Council. And so most of the meeting I was speaking more as a Montana representative of the Geographic Information Council. A few times I did take that hat off and asked local government questions during the speed networking, but yeah, so.
Well, that's interesting. Yeah, that was basically what I got from Erin too. She's like, yeah, no, kind of thing. So,
I feel like people always need volunteers to help with like random logistical stuff. So I might just email Erin and say, I'm in Bozeman. If you need some help, I'm here and can help you with bags or whatever, just so we have some representation helping the conference.
And I only have that history of being at the one, so who knows what goes on behind the scenes. So
okay, I'm willing to volunteer myself to help with something if that's needed.
I think that's going to be an Aaron question.
Yep, you go right ahead, and I motion that Helen, you email Aaron.
I will email her, but she's so busy she didn't respond to my last email. So I'll shoot her a note, and then I can call her office if I can't reach her. So I'll put that on my to-do list.
There you go.
Kudos to Montana Transportation. Won a SAG award. I saw that.
Wow, nice.
So that wasn't transportation, but I think Onyx too got some SAG award, if I recall.
I could care less about Onyx. I'm sorry. They're not a big thing in my book.
Ever since they stopped sponsoring or coming to the conference, I feel they could be more involved in the community, let's say.
I agree. All right, let's end this meeting. Guys.
Thank you. I move we close the meeting.
All right, all in favor?
Second.
All right. You guys have a good August, and I will see you in Stillwater County from here on out.
All right.
Congratulations. Great to see you.
All right, thanks.
Congrats, Mike.
Congrats, Mike.
Thanks.
See ya. Bye.
Yep. Bye.